Oh God. Oh God. Salty ocean water in my nose. Fuck, where the fuck am I?
Hey!
Who's that? Who's that? Hey! Hey!
Hey!
Help me, I'm alive! I'm alive!
Hey, man! Hey! What are you doing?
Oh God,
Are you here? Are you here on a? Are you here on the ship?
My ship, we sank. The killer whales. The killer whales ate my friends.
Wait, what are you talking about? Are you here? You have a ship here?
I have a ship. I had a ship. And then it got sunk by the whales. And then the screams, and then I clung to the corpse of my captain and floated out here. And then it got attacked by a sea of mackerels. And they ate him. And I thought I was done for until I washed up. I washed up here. Oh God, is there like a whaling station or perhaps a radio tower here that I can call the Coast Guard to save me? Maybe.
I've been stranded here for the last 4 years, bud.
Fuck. You've been stranded here too. What happened?
I was on a pirate ship, and we were shanghaied, and the whole crew was thrown overboard, and I only barely swam to this island. I've been here, living off of fish and coconut juice.
Do you have a coconut? Do you have a coconut? I need a coconut. I can't think straight. Okay, you get a coconut. Oh, that's better. So you're telling me that you were a pirate?
I was a pirate, yeah.
And then you got attacked by other pirates?
Yeah.
And then they threw you overboard?
Uh-huh.
It's not quite as good as mine.
Well,
I mean, listen,
what are you talking about?
We were a whaling ship.
I was a pirate.
We were a whaling ship. And then
whaling's not as cool as piracy.
No, but what's cool, what happened was cooler.
I don't.
Because we're on a whaling ship and then whales attacked us.
Whoa, okay, fine. I was on a pirate ship and pirates attacked us.
Yeah, you're not hunting pirates, though. It's like
How do you know what I'm hunting? You don't know
kind
what
of
I'm
like,
hunting.
it's like a role reversal.
You know what? You take that side of the island, I'll take this side of the island. We'll see if anybody shows up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna die here.
Yeah, whatever. Mine's better. Fuck you.
Welcome back, everybody, to Delete Everything Podcast, our rescue ship off the shore of the island that you're standing on, just coughing up dust and grilling little minnows on a fire and trying to make a bamboo lean-to keep you out of the elements. And
welcome to Delete Everything, our rescue ship here to sweep you out of the icy waters of the North Atlantic.
Why are we in the North Atlantic?
Why not? It's the ocean. It's cold. That's where the Titanic sank.
In my mind, it was a tropical island. It's gonna be hard to get fish on a North Atlantic island.
Actually, would it be? Because they seem to do it.
Yeah, in boats like offshore, and like the channels and
like
stuff.
Nova Scotia and shit. They got plenty of fish going on up there. Like, it doesn't seem to me that like the cold waters of the North Atlantic are particularly like adverse to fish.
You'd have to drill a hole in the ice.
In the North Atlantic, the ocean doesn't freeze.
You're on an island. You're not in the ocean.
Point of fact, the ocean does not freeze. Fresh water that gathers on top of the saline water freezes.
You're on an island.
Itself. I mean, yeah, if it's an ice flow, sure.
Also, if you're up in the North Atlantic, now we're talking polar bears. Anyway, thank you to everybody who's left us ratings and reviews this last week or any comments on Spotify. We appreciate that. If you have not done so yet, we sure would like it if you did. It would be fucking awesome. It would really float our boat that's not in the North Atlantic. It's off the shore of a tropical island, somewhere equatorial.
On a tropical island.
But
underneath the...
Also, if you have not yet done so, you should check us out on Instagram at Delete Everything Podcast. We're on there.
This is Riley Bone.
We're on there. Did we not do that?
No.
We've had a long day in the studio today, and there's all kinds of other shit going on. So let me think.
He's your host, Patrick Wall.
I am your host, Patrick Wall. That's right. And with me, as always, is
the bloated corpse of my shipmate, Riley Bowen. Hi.
Oh God, we're all over the fucking place today. This is gonna be a weird episode.
Also joining us today is the stowaway that is still clinging to life in the air bubble in the ship at the bottom of the ocean.
He told us
Drew Bowlby.
He told us he was
literally just walked in the door.
He told us he was escaping his life as a stool boy.
Yes.
Please, sir.
It's totally
please.
on a ship.
Please take me.
So we immediately made him our stool boy. Anyway, all those things, YouTube, check that out, and then Patreon. Patreon's a fun time. You are going to you're going to like it. We do wild shit on there.
You're gonna like the way you look.
And it's,
Is that like a new thing?
Oh, it's the Men's Warehouse. I don't
Men's
know.
Warehouse. That's an old thing.
No, it's just my fucking little tism ticks that you say something that I do a word association with. It's really hard. Like I don't have fucking Tourette's or anything like that, but I do have it's really hard for me to control myself if there's a word association that really hits. I remember we were doing the episode with Jake Teeters. Which one was that?
Satanic Panic.
Satanic Panic. We're doing Satanic
Yep.
Panic, right? And you said something about millions of bodies, I think.
Okay.
You said millions of something.
Millions of peaches. Peaches for free.
You said millions of somethings in reference to something horrifying, I think child murder.
I think it was probably the rumors when the people questioning the children were feeding them for answers, and there was something about the underground tunnels with millions of kids or a bunch of kids.
So you said millions of, and my brain clicked over to, I remember this because Jake looked at me like, what are you, an asshole? My brain clicked over to the Big Business song Millions of People that goes millions of people, and I said that while you were still talking about child murder, and Jake looked at me like, what the fuck?
I think that might have been the episode where all the end quotes were dumb snippets of songs that either you or Patrick sang throughout.
That makes sense, yeah.
I think it was that one.
Well, we've got a hell of a topic today. We have a fun one today.
Oh, yeah?
Probably not for the people we're going to talk about, but it's not as horrific as our normal shit.
This week, my thing was, for the most part, all of the end quotes were shit cut from the episode.
Oh God.
That's fun.
We'll see.
Oh, great.
You want me to knock out the first half here?
Yeah, go for it. Or I could do the first half, whichever you want to do.
All right. So
I want to enter that flow state.
We're doing. We got this. We're firing on all cylinders right now. I just got some good news. I'm feeling good. Things are fine. Yeah, everything's great. Let's do it. So today we're talking about survival stories. Stories of humans just doing the thing that
Stories of survival.
I mean, impressive shit where most people would give up.
I love this shit, tales of perseverance
Uh-huh.
and willpower.
Riley, I'm honestly just gonna do one person. I feel like if we both do two people,
Okay.
it's gonna. We're gonna sell the story short a little bit.
All right,
So
cool.
I want to do just one person. You do whatever you want. Your discretion, right? So the person I want to talk about is a man named Steven Callahan. Now, I have got to double check on this, or maybe one of you guys can. At the time when this happened, which has been 40 plus years, he was the longest time spent stranded at sea ever to survive. Right? Steven Callahan he was a sailor, right? He was doing a transatlantic sail he started in New England. He had a 21 foot sloop sailboat, and he went from Rhode Island to Bermuda. And then the plan was to leave Bermuda. Again, he was trying to do this single-handed sailing, transatlantic trip, right? So he leaves from Bermuda. He ends up going to England. So when he gets to England, he decides to participate in this sailing race, right? That goes from Penzance, England, Riley. Yeah.
Of the mighty pirates of Penzance.
And I'm not sure where exactly it was going. It was the Mini Transat 6.5 single-handed sailing race, right? He ended up making it as far as La Coruña, Spain, and he ends up dropping out when he gets to La Coruña, Spain, because basically like the weather had gotten real fucking bad. Several boats had been sunk and a bunch of others had been damaged, including his. So he sort of docks, he does some repairs, and he just sort of, then he sort of casually just sails like Portugal, Madeira, which is a island off of Portugal, which if you've never seen photos of the island of Madeira, it's fucking gorgeous. It's insanely beautiful.
And is that where all those filthy colonialists come from?
I don't know. I think they mostly come from mainland Portugal. But anyway, and the Canary Islands also. So eventually he goes...
Is that where they make canaries?
What's that?
Is that where canaries are from?
Yeah, I think actually. I honestly really do think that.
Cool.
Like legitimately.
Okay.
Do you know the answer?
No, I have no fucking idea.
I think they really are. So at some point he leaves the Canary Islands and is headed for Antigua, right? Which is in the Caribbean, if you're not familiar. I think that was the original destination of the...
Canary birds are native to the Canary Islands.
Yeah.
Son of a goddamn bitch.
Just like where Galapagos tortoise is native to. The Galapagos Islands.
I thought that's where like horses came from.
Where blue-footed boobies native to.
The Galapagos Islands.
The Isle of Boobies.
Isle of Boobies.
Anyway, so...
Where's that? I'm going to cut that. That's stupid.
So he departs from the Canary Islands to Antigua, which I believe was the original destination of the race. But at this point, he's dropped out. He's just like, I'm going to just do this casually. But he kind of leaves like trying to beat out some weather. Again, he's going open ocean from the Canary Islands to Antigua. So cross the Atlantic Ocean.
Hell of a trip.
So he, about 7 days into this crossing, he wakes up in the middle of the night to like a large crash. He wakes up and is like, what the fuck? And there's water coming into the boat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's like the one thing you don't want.
So he luckily had a little bug out bag in the on the it's 21 foot boat, so it's not very big. I can't imagine doing a fucking transatlantic on a 21 foot sailboat.
Yeah, fuck.
That is small.
You remember when I lived on the sailboat?
Yeah.
That was 26 or 28 or something.
Still a little guy.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't imagine. I wouldn't want to be in a storm in that. And the one that
imagine
I was
just even if it's clear weather the whole time. Imagine just being in the middle of the like. I grew up going deep sea fishing. There, like you can look at a boat on a trailer and be like, "Oh, that's a big boat." You get out in the middle of the ocean where you can see nothing but water, and you are like, "It's so small. What are we? Anything could happen to us."
Well, the ocean is just so. I have a pretty good encapsulation of this concept. Charlie, my daughter.
Yeah.
She, she's like maybe 18 months old. She's been to the beach plenty of times. Loved it and all that. But I took her once, and I saw her finally kind of look out and understand how big the ocean was, and she just burst into tears.
Oh, that's
wow.
good. Yeah.
And there's something very when you, like I said, when you are in the middle of the ocean and you can see nothing, no land, no other boats, nothing, just you.
Yeah. That's when Cthulhu gets you.
It's 100%. You're like, there is so much below me that I don't fucking know that could come from like an area that I'm not usually like, I don't have to think about things coming from that direction. And suddenly I am on this little fucking thing in the middle of this vastness with a whole new dimension to worry about.
Yeah.
And it fucks you up pretty quickly.
There's that factoid that everybody likes to throw out that we, in some ways, know more about space than the bottom of the ocean.
That's true. Yeah. So this guy grabs his bug out bag, right? He had some watertight compartments on the boat that kept it from just sinking immediately. So he was able to like grab shit to go. But I mean, he's in a storm also. So there's waves coming over. He knew he like got to abandon ship. You have no other fucking choice, right? So he jumps out and he's got in his bug out bag a 6-man inflatable life raft, right? This is about 6 feet across in a big it's a big circle, right? It's about 6 feet in diameter.
What happened to his ship? Just heard like a crunch.
The suspicion is migrating whales.
Oh, damn.
A whale coming up for air that it was the middle of the night.
Yeah.
A whale coming up for air and just breached and hit his boat either with its tail or its back or something. And I mean, it doesn't take much.
This is the fucking orcas again.
Yeah, the orcas. They're like, no, nobody will tread these waters.
Before they upgraded to yachts. I fucking love that they're going
They're just
after yachts.
going after yachts like every day.
Not
too.
killing people, just sinking their shitty
Sinking their
fucking giant
dumb
boats.
Yeah. Do you want to put that on mute?
It was on mute.
Mine did the same thing earlier.
What the fuck?
Where I turned it down and then this was after the recording, but
Yeah, it's on silent mode. What the hell is that?
that's the new government program where fucking telemarketers are allowed to push through your mute.
So he managed to grab enough, like the boat was sinking for long enough that he managed to like grab some shit. Another thing that he happened to grab, which was probably the only reason he survived.
Fishing pole.
Not a fishing pole, a spear. Fishing
Okay.
spear.
Ooh.
By the way,
That's a man's fishing pole.
by the way, there is he wrote an autobiographical book about this,
Called
which is phenomenal.
Fuck the Ocean. Why the ocean sucks 76 days out of the year.
It's called Adrift. And I read it probably around 12 years old. I read this book and I was like, oh my God. And I've reread it a couple times.
It's the
since then. It's a
Seafarer's
really
Hatchet.
It's a really good book. It's a really, well, and it's a true story.
It seems very much like the movie All Is Lost with Robert Redford is based on this too. It's about a guy who's sailing across the Indian Ocean and like a fucking floating like shipping container punches a hole in his ship, and he's just got to fucking raft it
That's
for forever.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, so even as his boat was sinking, he was like, you know how a boat sinks. Usually there's just like that little bit that sticks up that's still got some air in there. So you can like, so he's diving down into the boat to get like as much shit as he can. He got like some cushions. He got a sleeping bag. He managed to get an emergency kit. I know he had a couple of, he got two. Luckily he got, this is another reason why he survived. He had 2 solar stills.
Nice.
That you could put salt water in, and it uses, evaporation to give you fresh water.
I'd say already that's pretty like self-aware and bad at like
right.
Like to dive into your sinking
He was
boat.
able to get a little bit of food, some navigation charts, some flares, et cetera, right?
It's just like in that movie The Wolf of Wall Street when Leonardo DiCaprio dives into the sinking ship to get Quaaludes.
I don't remember that part. Are we actually talking about people that I don't have to hate this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. This guy is badass.
Unless you like, I'm going to talk about an Inuit woman. Do you hate them?
No.
All right. Well, then you're good.
You know, whenever I was telling you about this earlier, and you mentioned The Life of Pi.
Yeah.
Do you know that Steven Callahan was actually a consultant on the making of The Life of Pi when they were filming that? Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
You can sit there on set and be like, "What? How far are you in? 40 days? No, you're puking.
Yeah.
You're not happy."
Hey,
When-
can I have a word over here to the side? There aren't any tigers out here. There's no tigers. Why do you have a tiger where
What's going
there are
on
none?
here? There's no way you'd survive.
What was the tiger's name?
Oh, it's a
Mr.
metaphor?
Franklin Richards.
Yeah.
No, it's Richard Parker.
Richard Parker. Thank you.
Richard Parker.
What?
You didn't see The Life of Pi?
I did, but I
Like
don't
that
remember
guy,
that.
like every 10 seconds, he's like, Richard Parker.
And that's
Why are you
and
on
that's
this
the
boat?
tiger's
You're
name.
a tiger, Richard
And that's
Parker.
the tiger's name.
And then at
Richard
the end,
Parker.
the tiger like runs into the jungle. He's like, Richard Parker.
Oh no.
This is Wilson moment.
So this book was absolutely incredible. I mean, it literally like what's cool. So obviously he spent 76 days sort of just floating westward along the South Equatorial Current and trade winds, right? Never sighted a ship in 76 days.
God damn.
This is in 1981, but never sighted a single ship. Basically, pretty quickly ate all of the food supplies he had gotten and was like, I've got to catch fish with this spear on an inflatable raft.
Yep. That's rough. That's rough. You got to get fish close enough.
Very little room
And
for things to go tits
I don't know
up.
if our viewers know anything about fish, but a lot of fish are real pokey. Very pokey creatures.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also the nature of a spear is
very
is
pokey.
also pokey.
A very He's doing the hokey pokey.
Pokey on the front and pokey on the sides.
Yeah, you gotta look
and
out.
kind of pokey backwards a
Yeah.
little bit. By the way, just so that everybody's envisioning this raft, like I said, it's 6 feet in diameter, sort of like a donut. It's you're suspended on water, right? The,
Did you see
the
just
air
then,
is
that word association thing I was talking about? As soon as you said donut, I thought of Daniel Craig in the movie Knives Out saying a donut. Yeah.
it's also got a dome on it, so it's like a tent, and it's got like the tent flaps that open up, right? So
I thought of the Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode where Homer's head turned into a donut.
He kept eating it.
Yeah, and he kept eating his head. See, I have the same thing. I just don't.
I was just envisioning the fucking raft. So anyway, another reason why he didn't die, because he would have died of exposure if it didn't have that covering. So he managed to set himself up for success. I don't think that he was 2.5 months?
That's a long time.
That's a fucking long time to be
That
at
is
sea.
a long time to be at sea, bud.
So he starts having to, and by the way, if you know anything about sort of the ocean, if you've watched like Planet Earth or anything like that,
Very wet.
most of the
drink
wet comes from that. No, there's a lot less activity in terms of fish and stuff like that. It's mostly shallower waters.
Right.
It's near shorelines and shoals and things like that.
Yeah,
Shoals.
the deep ocean.
Shoals. And
The deep ocean is
was a
remarkably
patriotic callback.
empty.
yeah, the deep ocean is very
That's
so.
one of the shorts. You can see anybody can see that.
Oh yeah, shoals.
I think it's shoals sells seashells or something.
Yeah. So
There are parts of the ocean that are referred to as deserts because there's just
Absolutely.
nothing going on
Absolutely.
in there for huge, like hundreds of miles.
so he managed to.
Again, with a space analogy, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of spaces.
There's a
nothing.
story.
Yeah.
There's a story in the book where he just happened to get fucking lucky, and like a school of flying fish came through, and a bunch of them just like flirped right into his tent.
And he's just
Yeah, and he would just like fillet them and like put them on top of the thing to like
Dry 'em out?
to dry out, and that
Fish
was the
jerky,
only way
yeah,
you
yeah.
could eat them. Over time, barnacles would start growing under. He'd like just peel the barnacles off the bottom,
Yeah, eat them
which
shits,
again
yeah.
is sketchy.
Yeah, because what if like they're sharp? You know, you
Yeah.
fucking cut your own raft.
Exactly. So, which hold on to that thought. What's cool is with the barnacles starting to form, most ships that spend a lot of time out on sea and stuff and have the barnacles and all that shit, they basically become floating ecosystems.
Uh-huh.
And that was other fish come to feed on that, and then other fish come to feed on those fish, and yada yada yada. So he ended up getting this whole fucking ecosystem underneath his raft, which he could then spear stuff periodically.
It's
And
just so crazy.
shit like that.
Can you imagine if like the air world was like that? Like fucking planes were in the sky long enough, they just started fucking developing creatures.
Yeah, that other creatures would come
Yeah,
and feed
exactly.
off of, and then other creatures would feed.
Yeah,
There's
fucking
dragons
birds, yeah.
swooping down. So and there are so many incredible stories. So one of them is him waking up in the middle of the fucking night. I wish I had reread this book or at least audiobooked it before this episode, but I've been so fucking busy. But there's this crazy fucking story of him waking up in the middle of the night to a bump underneath him, and it's fucking there's like 3-4 sharks circling his. Again, you're in the middle of the ocean. There's 3-4 sharks.
Fuck that.
And he's trying to figure out how to keep them away because the nature of that sandpapery skin.
Well,
He's like,
fucking
I
slice
don't
your
want
boat,
these
yeah.
fuckers like dragging the bottom of my boat. I also don't want them to test.
Also, an
you know,
animal
to
that
bite test it. 'Cause
typically, explores with
yeah,
its mouth.
sharks are notoriously like exploratory and so bumping it. Okay, it's squishy. What's the next thing a shark's going to do? Let's see how squishy and
Yeah.
whether it's full of meat.
Yeah.
and that's the next thing. So he's like frantically trying to keep them away. There was a story he ended up getting, I think like a pot of mahi, which are tropical if you're elsewhere. They're tropical water fish. And
Delicious.
and he managed to spear one, and when he brought it up onto the raft, fish flail.
Yeah.
And if it's a 3-4 foot fish and it flails, there's only so much you're going to be able to control it. Drove the point of the spear directly into his fucking the part of,
fuck.
he ended up having to like use whatever rope and belt and whatever to like basically tie off a tourniquet on both sides of the thing
Damn.
and like tie it together and basically pull that little area together, which like fucked up his thing.
Jesus
There's
Christ.
one of his desalinators fucking crapped out, and I think by the time he got found, the second desalinator like was not like, to him it tasted fine, but like testing out the water that was coming out, it was like, oh, you were not going to be able to drink this for very much.
Yeah.
Like, if this continued to like not desalinate effectively. There was another story of him realizing like, and this was shortly I think before he got rescued, because the top of his tent had like fish guts and shit on it,
Yeah.
obviously from so.
Birds just fucking
Gulls.
dive
Fucking
bombing.
a gull like landed on it, and he hadn't eaten in a few days, and he just like, yeah, he literally like real quick went and grabbed it by the feet, and it's like pecking the shit out of his hands and his arms and stuff. But I
chewing
mean,
its
it's
head.
fucking- probably snapped its neck real quick.
I would suck the brains right out of the thing.
But but yeah, so he was gone. He was
out of his fucking mind, dude.
He was lost at sea from January 29th of 82 until April 20th of 82, when he spotted lights on the island of Marie Galante, southeast of Guadalupe. That's like going down like south of, Puerto Rico and everything. There's like that archipelago that goes down toward South America that's got like the Virgin Islands, and I think even Antigua's in that, and Curacao and all that shit's in there. Trinidad.
Curacao, home of Curacao.
Mm-hmm. I think I named a bunch of islands that are there. But yeah, so he sighted lights on this island after 76 fucking days. And he managed to like just try and like swim the raft toward the island. The next morning, some fishermen saw him and picked him up. And he managed to fucking contact people. Like, imagine your family and all that shit. Like,
well, you've been missing at sea for over a month. You're dead.
I want to say, if I recall,
no Helen Hunt doing charts and shit trying to find your location.
Yeah,
like you dead.
Yeah, I want to say that he had an ex-wife that he was still like friendly with. Like it wasn't like a contentious. They were still friendly. If memory serves correctly, she had like tried to be like, don't do this by yourself like that. Yeah, anything could happen. And so, I mean,
he said, don't tell me what to do, woman. I'm a man.
She must have been absolutely fucking beside herself. But yeah, he never did like, he had an emergency position, like a radio beacon. That never did him any fucking good.
Just like Hatchet.
He had flares that never did him any fucking good. So this is before satellites too. So it was just a radio signal that
in the movie. If I made the movie, he'd have used the flares to fight off the sharks. That would have been a cool cinematic thing with the flares like in the shark's mouth as it's circling around the boat. Yeah.
Smile, you son of a bitch.
He spent 6 weeks in the hospital afterward.
I wonder why.
He had lost like a ludicrous, in the book, there's like photos at the end of the book. There's photos of him like before and after. And he's just fucking rail thin and just like, like that leathery, like just weather worn, wrinkled fucking face. He's got that. He's got a fucking beard.
And I mean, like the psychological toll of that is so much more intense to my mind than the physical toll. Like being scared of some shit for solid months, like just every day, just being like, any second this could fucking go. That's crazy.
I think during that experience,
he went from something like 270 pounds to like 90 pounds.
Shit.
It was like 2/3 of his weight he lost.
That's intense. I think during the experience or like an experience like that, I think past a certain point, your mind is probably gonna accept that you're most likely gonna die.
Yeah,
and then after 76 days, you'd probably find some peace with the idea of dying, and then anything after that seems like a bonus.
Right. I think he went from like 200 and a little bit to like 120 or something like that. It was like half of his weight, maybe.
It's just crazy. It's like I guess the movie and the book, The Life of Pi, both kind of dig into this like idea that when you have to assume that you're not going to make it, but it's an extended period. It's not like you're fucking like, I'm going to die tomorrow. It's like, I'm going to probably die next week, next week.
Yeah.
It's coming. Right. It's coming one way or another. Like accepting that and like still having to see like sunrises and sunsets and like perceive stuff is like the quiet.
It's a little fucked up.
The quietude of that in general is just so fucking intense.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I would imagine so. And I mean, I remember just being absolutely wrapped by this book. I mean, just page after page after page. I was like, oh my God. And then what? And then what?
Yeah, I'm gonna read this now. I love survival books.
believe I have a copy. I'll double check. Yeah, it was just a fucking super cool book. And amazingly, he has transatlantic sailed since multiple times.
Well, yeah. What's he afraid of now? Fuck it.
I beat him.
I done died out here already.
Yeah, I beat the Reaper. Fuck it.
It would be cool though, is you sail with somebody who's like it's their first time, and you could look at them with those like crazy eyes and be like, first time on the open sea, boy.
Yeah, so you basically turn into
Willem Dafoe in The Lighthouse.
Yeah, Quince.
Oh.
Yeah, or that. I was thinking Quince from Jaws, but
Hark, Triton. That's a 45 souls go into the water. The sharks.
that is actually, we are actually going to do that story at some point.
That's a good one. It's the U.S. Indianapolis?
Indianapolis, yeah.
Yeah, the sharks.
Who was the actor that played Quince?
Oh, fuck.
Quint.
Quint. It is very good actor.
Captain Quint.
Fuck my aim.
It may just be and obviously we'll uncover
Robert
this.
Shaw.
Robert Shaw.
Obviously we'll uncover it whenever we do the actual episode, but I know there's at least an online rumor, I don't know how legitimate it is, that he was on the USS Indianapolis.
What, Robert Shaw?
Yeah.
I believe. I
think
think
he
that's
was.
true.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah.
That's fucking incredible. Well, let's leave that for that episode.
You know
But
he died right after Jaws?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, shark ate him.
Yeah.
that's why he wasn't in Jaws
ironic.
2 or Jaws 3 or
Man, my favorite.
Jaws 3D or...
Quint dying is actually my favorite part of Jaws. Not really for any other reason except like that's the scene. Sorry to digress a little bit. That's the scene where Spielberg. You can see Spielberg being like a fucking amazing director because the whole time Quint's been cold as ice, right? Just fucking super badass. And then right there in the last few seconds, you can see like his greatest fear is sharks. He's just like, no, ah! So good.
That's hilarious.
I hate sharks, Jock. I hate them.
But I mean, yeah, that's without getting really, really deep into it. That's Steven Callahan, man, and like that shit.
Is he still alive? Do you know?
I can look it up real quick.
I can look it
Are
up.
you doing it?
Steven with a V or a PH?
Believe it, V. Steven, not Stefan. I don't know. He'd be pretty old.
He's 73. He's still alive.
Oh, he is. Good for him.
So this was 44 years ago.
Yeah, that was
So he would have been in his
82,
20s.
early 82.
Is that right?
He said he would have been, late 20s, right?
Yeah, like 28, 29, something
Mhm.
like that.
But what a killer.
Pretty
I mean,
incredible.
take a moment to just think about just being in an inflatable raft at sea for 2.5 months straight.
I'm saying, like, at some point, you just got to accept, like, I'm sure anybody would just accept, like, I'm probably going to die. So anything outside of that is a bonus. Like, I wonder if that's the conclusion that your mind has to come to. Or is it just pure terror the whole time? You know? I feel like the brain has to protect itself in that way. And
I would imagine part of that 6 weeks in the hospital was not just the physical trauma of being, probably highly dehydrated, definitely malnourished. I mean, all these fucking things.
Yeah.
You probably got organs that are just on the verge of shutting down.
And you're just like, please, no more fish.
But
no
then
more fish.
also just spending that much time with like that stress level, that survival mode for 2.5 months has got to be fucking.
Yeah.
Just think about like fucking just in bed dreaming about, the sharks.
If you've ever spent an entire day out in the on the ocean, surrounded by nothing but past where you can see land, I can tell you right now, you start getting antsy by the end of the day.
Yeah.
You start being like, okay, just imagine there's nothing you could do about it. You are literally just at the mercy of whatever the tides are doing.
Yeah. I love water. I grew up on the beach.
Same.
I like being in a boat. I like all that shit.
I love
but
the way of water.
God damn it. Fuck you.
Is that stupid Avatar movie?
Yes, it's
What?
the second one.
What do you
God
mean?
damn it. But so I love being in the water.
Yeah,
Truly do.
Same.
I have no interest in like deep sea fishing.
Yeah.
Like once you get
I would love to.
where
I would love to do a transatlantic. Actually, we talked about this in the last
I'd
episode.
do a transatlantic, sure.
We talked about this in the last episode about me wanting to go down through the Caribbean to South America, to bop along the northern coast of South America till I get to that like easternmost point of Brazil, and then sail across to Africa because that's the closest that the two hemispheres come.
I'm not really like scared of sharks either, except like, sometimes that shark looks right at you, right in your eyes. And the thing about a shark is he's got lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes, black eyes.
Jesus Christ!
I gotta get my brother to listen.
You've
to
been
this.
holding your phone for so long.
When he
getting
comes
ready
at
to do
ya.
that. Yeah.
He doesn't even seem to be living till he bites you.
Riley has not even been paying attention to the conversation.
White and then
He's queuing up his Quint speech.
Exactly. He was not even paying attention to the conversation. He's just waiting for his opening.
They rip you to pieces.
My brother's Instagram handle is the real Captain Quint.
Yeah.
Because he lives down in the Keys. He's like a diver. He owned several boats. He truly grew up on the water.
Sounds like he's more like the black guy from the fourth Jaws movie.
That's all you got is the black guy?
I don't remember his
Because
name.
of my brother's. He actually does a really good Jamaican accent.
You remember anybody else from Jaws 4, The Revenge?
So
I mean, I remember. I don't know the actor or anything, but I can picture the face of like the guy who plays his son.
What about Sir Michael Caine?
Michael Caine.
Was Michael Caine in that?
He couldn't
He
accept
was.
his Academy Award because he was off filming Jaws 4.
Yep. Tidbit about that where somebody.
Tidbit nibbler.
Yeah.
By
Somebody.
the way, one of the best scenes in that movie, which is otherwise not so good, is like one of the most dramatic scenes of that movie is when that guy, the token black guy in that movie,
It's a Jamaican guy.
is sure. He's like in his little scuba gear doing the like underwater shit, and Jaws is like circling and he's like hiding in the coral from it. You remember that scene?
Yeah.
And he like that's like a dramatic, like I remember being like anxious, being
those
like
POV shots.
oh god, I hope he gets out.
When you get the shark POV, that's when stuff's really good.
Yeah,
Because it's Spielberg based those shark like POV shots from the shark's eyes.
on the type of porn he watches.
No, he based it on slasher movies because
Because
because like if you watch like Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Fucking
yes.
like the first thing that happens in that movie is a POV shot from Michael Myers as a kid. And that's I always thought that was cool. Like he's just like, no, we'll make it like a real.
They did more of those in Jaws because the animatronic shark looked shitty.
Or Bruce the shark.
Bruce, yeah, it
was a
looked
piece
shitty.
of
So
shit.
he's like, all right, let's just like not show the shark very much. And maybe
What's
do
cool
more
though is that
POVs
they
and-
show him so little that he just looks fucking awesome every time you see him.
Yeah. And they just pick the right moments to do
Yeah.
it. Michael Caine said of Jaws 4: The Revenge, he's like, I've heard it's a terrible. Or I can't do a Michael Caine like you guys can.
I heard it was
It's
a terrible film.
But I saw the house it built and it was terrific.
That's nice. That's good.
So okay,
But I
so
saw the house it built.
So-
It was terrific.
your story for the most part takes place in more tropical climes, right?
It does,
Like,
yeah.
and down in the Caribbean. But that's like kind of like you and I are always separated by this because
Yeah, I'm a tropical guy.
You're a tropical boy.
I hail from a very tropical
and
people.
I am a cold weather man. You know, I do like the frozen north. I've always been intrigued by stories of like Arctic and Antarctic exploration, specifically like ocean survival and shit
Sure.
up there. I think it's the utmost extreme in terms of like hardcore adventures. Hostile environments, no real chance of rescue, you know.
I mean, if Steven Callahan if that had happened to him in the Arctic, he'd be dead.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
There's no way to keep away from the.
But like, yeah, disasters befalling travelers like at the poles is super, super common. Survival is extremely unlikely. So I've gathered a couple of tales of survival in these most extreme of conditions.
Okay.
The fuck was that?
I have no idea.
What in the fuck was that?
I don't know, but it was a cool like death knell. That outside?
So we went and investigated. Never figured out what this was. Nobody else heard it. My wife in the house did not hear it. Still no idea what it was. So it was probably like a hag putting a curse or a hex or whatever on us. I don't know. If we turn up dead, it was that sound.
So I've gathered these two tales of survival in these most extreme conditions. I call this section of the podcast A Cold Day in Hell.
Do you want me to put in sound effects?
Yes, please put in sound effects.
So
So
you want like a lightning?
yeah, some
crash?
waves and some lightning and stuff.
Waves? Okay.
Okay.
Like an Arctic breeze.
This is the story of Ada Blackjack. Ada Blackjack was born.
Great name.
Yeah, great name, right? Ada Blackjack was born May 10th, 1898, and she died May 29th, 1983. So she lived a nice long life. She was an Inupiaq woman who accompanied an Arctic expedition to the uninhabited Wrangel Island, north of Siberia, eventually living alone on the island for 8 months after the other expedition members left or died. When Ada Blackjack set sail in 1921 for a remote speck of land north of Siberia, the petite Inupiat woman was an unlikely Arctic heroine. In her role as the seamstress for an expedition comprised of 4 men and a female cat named Vic, Blackjack was assured that during her 1-year contract sewing survival gear on Wrangel Island, she would be well fed and cared for without needing to participate in the grueling day-to-day work of Arctic survival. But by the time a rescue ship crested the horizon nearly 2 years later, Blackjack, who would come to be known as the female Robinson Crusoe, was the only member of the party still alive. That is, apart from Vic. The shy tailor with a crippling fear of polar bears had taught herself to shoot and trap to stave off the constant threat of starvation, and when she strode out to meet her rescuers in a reindeer parka she had stitched herself, out of reindeer she had killed herself,
But
her gaunt face held a
Jesus.
triumphant smile. So Blackjack was born Ada Delatuk, Deletuk, Deletuk. She was born in 1898 in Spruce Creek, Alaska, which is a remote settlement north of the Arctic Circle near the gold rush town of Nome. History's largely forgotten her, though Jennifer Niven's 2004 biography, Ada Blackjack, A True Story of Survival in the Arctic, painted a comprehensive picture of her life. While Blackjack was Inupiat, she was not raised with any knowledge of hunting or wilderness survival. She was instead brought up by Methodist missionaries who taught her enough English to study the Bible and who instructed her in housekeeping, sewing, and cooking white people food.
My brain went a couple places.
Yeah.
Again, with the Simpsons gag where I think it was the first Treehouse of Horror, where it's like cooking for humans.
Cooking white people food. At the age of 16, she married Jack Blackjack, who in the movie would be played by Jack Black, so that his name could be Jack Blackjack by Blackjack Jack Black, who's a local dog musher, which is not what it sounds like. And together they had 3 children, 2 of whom died before Jack deserted Ada on the Seward Peninsula in 1921. The abandoned Blackjack walked 40 miles back to Nome with her 5-year-old son, Bennett. When he was too tired to walk, she carried him. The boy suffered from tuberculosis and general poor health, and Blackjack lacked the resources to properly care for him.
Why did Jack Blackjack abandon Ada? Was he just sick of her shit, or like?
I mean, probably because a couple of the kids died, and he couldn't find enough dogs to mush, and he just was a general piece of shit.
So he was an asshole.
Yeah, he was a fucking white douchebag. Destitute, she placed Bennett in a local orphanage, vowing that she would find a way to make enough money to bring him back home. It was during this time that Blackjack heard word of an expedition heading for Wrangel Island. They were seeking an Alaska native seamstress who spoke English. The expedition, organized by the charismatic Arctic explorer Vilhjalmur Stephenson, Vilhjalmur, Vilhjalmur Stephenson.
That's how you say that.
Oh my God.
Organized by the charismatic Arctic explorer Vilhjalmur Stephenson.
I literally almost shot beer out of my nose.
It was at best an ill-conceived venture, and at worst it was a willfully negligent act of astonishing hubris. Using the pull of his celebrity as a seasoned explorer, Stephenson assembled a team of 4 starstruck young men. There was Alan Crawford, who's 20, Lorne Knight, 28, Fred Moore, 28, and Milton Gall, 19. He assembled them to claim Wrangel Island. Oh, yeah. To claim Wrangel Island for the British Empire, even though Britain had never shown the slightest interest in wanting it. Though Stephenson picked the team and funded the mission, he never had any intention of joining the party himself and sent his woefully inexperienced team north with only 6 months of supplies and hollow assurance that the friendly Arctic would provide ample game to augment their stores until a ship picked them up the following year.
I'm getting shades of alpaca from the...
Yeah, right. There's plenty of food up there. Come on, you can hunt, you can fish. There's whales, there's seals. You'll be fine.
I refuse to call him alpaca.
Alpaca.
It's alpaca.
Blackjack had many misgivings about shipping out with an expedition of 4 men, especially as she had initially been promised she would be just one of many indigenous Alaskans in the party. So you think of the misgivings there, like, okay, so I'm like a 24-year-old woman, a native woman at that, being shipped up to a deserted island with 4 white men for a year of no contact with anyone else. That sounds bad.
Little sketch, I would say.
But the odd jobs of sewing and housekeeping she was picking up in Alaska around Nome were never going to be enough to bring Bennett home, and the Wrangel Island expedition promised a salary of $50 a month, which was an amount that was, to Blackjack, an unheard of sum. And so even after the rest of the hired Inuits backed out, on September 9th, 1921, Blackjack boarded the Silver Wave with Crawford, Knight, Moore, Gall, and the ship's cat, Victoria. For the first year on Wrangel Island, the land lived up to Stephenson's promises. But as summer came to an end, the once plentiful game disappeared, and the pack ice closed in with no sign of a ship. Unbeknownst to the party, Teddy Bear, the ship chartered to pick them up, had been forced to turn back due to impenetrable ice.
The ship was Teddy Bear?
It's called Teddy Bear, yeah. On the good ship, Teddy Bear, we're turning back. We don't like it here. Cold and wet.
Jesus Christ.
And we don't care about the people we're supposed to get. Okay. So the Teddy Bear had been forced to turn back due to impenetrable ice. As the weather turned, the expedition faced the reality that their inadequate stores would have to last another year.
Oh, wow.
By the beginning of 1923, The situation had turned dire. The party was starving, and Knight was extremely ill with undiagnosed scurvy. On January 28, 1923, Crawford, Moorer, and Gall made the decision to leave Blackjack to care for the deathly ill Knight and set out on foot across the ice to Siberia in search of help. They were never seen again. For 6 months, Blackjack was alone with Knight. She served as doctor, nurse, companion, servant, and huntswoman in one, said the Los Angeles Times in 1924. Ada was woodsman, too, according to the Times. The dying man projected the rage he felt over his helplessness onto her, criticizing her constantly for not taking better care of him. Blackjack did not outwardly allow his blows to land, but confided in her diary, "He never stop and think how much it's hard for a woman to take foreman's place, to woodwork and to hunt for something to eat for him and do waiting to his bed and take the shit out for him."
She sounds like she has the patience of a saint, because I would have smothered his ass.
Yeah, I'm not trying to put any sort of spin on it. This is how it's punctuated and written. He never stop and think how much it's hard for a woman to take foreman's place, to woodwork and to hunt for something to eat for him and do waiting to his bed and take the shit out for him. When night passed, Blackjack duly recorded the event on Gall's typewriter, writing, "The date of Mr. Knight's death, he died on June 23rd. I don't know what time he died, though. Anyway, I write the date, just to let Mr. Stephenson know what month he died and what date of the month." Written by Ms. Ada Blackjack. It's like, anyway, he's dead. It was today.
She actually said anyway in there.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
Anyway, I write the date. She said date, but it's D-A-I-D.
Yeah.
I write the date.
D-A-I-D?
Yeah.
Dade?
Date. I write the date of him dead is dead now.
So she was only educated enough to really read the Bible, right?
Yeah.
The
And at
date-
end,
the date
at
of
the end,
Mr.
she
Knight's
wrote
death.
fucking finally.
Anyway, I write the date just to let Mr. Stephenson know what month he died. After Knight's
Not even the
passing-
day, it's just the month.
Yeah.
It was around, I don't know,
That was
September-ish.
June 23rd, the date of Mr. Knight's death. He died on June 23rd. I don't know what time he died, though. After Knight's passing, Blackjack refused to fall into despair and instead threw herself ferociously to the task of surviving in order to be reunited with her son.
It sounds like it was probably easier
Yeah,
after,
yeah,
after he was
probably.
dead.
I don't have to carry the shit out for this,
Hanging out
this
with a cat.
motherfucker who's
Yeah.
yelling at me all the time. I mean,
Yeah, go
honestly,
get him wood and stuff.
at a certain point, somebody's laid up with scurvy and they need help and you're taking care of them and they're still being dicks. I think you cut their fingers off or something, right? Isn't there a kind of frozen dementia or madness where you're like, hey, if you keep it up, I'm going to break your fucking knees. Just shut up.
Let's just give him the pillow treatment. Just bloop.
I will let you live if you shut the fuck up.
I'll give you some pillow treatment.
So,
Ooh.
Blackjack refused to fall into despair, and she threw herself ferociously to the task of surviving in order to be reunited with her son. Having neither the physical strength nor emotional fortitude to bury Knight's corpse, she left him resting on his bed inside of his sleeping bag and erected a barricade of boxes to protect his body from wild animals. As Jennifer Niven wrote in her Ada Blackjack biography, she moved into the storage tent to escape the smell of decay. She drove driftwood into the ground to bolster the tattered walls and ceiling of the tent. She built a cupboard out of boxes, which was placed at the entrance, and in this she stored her field glasses and ammunition. Most importantly, Blackjack built a gun rack above her bed so that she would not be caught by surprise if polar bears ventured too close to camp.
Jesus Christ.
For 3 months, Blackjack was alone. She learned how to set traps to lure white foxes, taught herself to shoot birds. She built a platform above her shelter so she could spot polar bears in the distance, and crafted a skin boat from driftwood and stretched canvas after the one initially brought to the island was lost in a storm.
How many polar bears are around?
I mean, it's the Arctic, dude. That's where they are.
Yeah.
I mean, how many bears are around bear country? They're there.
I mean,
How many does it take?
I've been to that area of Alaska and I didn't.
You've been to the Arctic?
Well, no, they were talking about Seward and Nome.
Well, that's where she's from.
Oh, okay.
this is out
This is further. Okay.
on
okay,
that
okay.
island.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha,
so they're
gotcha.
on a fucking island way offshore in the Arctic.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
also
Okay.
19
That's
or
19,
20s, and they're not
20,
near,
100 years ago.
21, 22.
Yeah.
not near as endangered back
Yeah,
then.
and fucking
Yeah, 100 years ago for sure.
yeah, she's on an island that can't be reached because of impenetrable sea ice.
Yeah, probably proliferating more
Yeah.
back then. The polar bears.
She even experimented with the expedition's photography equipment, taking pictures of herself standing outside of camp. On August 20th, 1923, almost 2 years after the first landing on Wrangel Island, The schooner Donaldson crested the horizon to rescue the persevering seamstress, who was doing quite well on her own. Blackjack, the crew noted, mastered her environment so far that it seems likely she could have lived there another year, although the isolation would have been a dreadful experience.
You don't say.
Yeah, right? As it was like, fuck, just me and the polar bears.
Just
Jesus Christ.
sitting here by myself in the fucking snow all day, every day.
I would have used that guy as bait and then shot a polar bear and worn its hide. If I'd been there, it would have been different.
What kind of gun did she have?
Just like a rifle. No. As news of the expedition's tragic end spread, Blackjack found herself at the epicenter of a flurry of press attention, lauding her as a hero and praising her for her courage. But the quiet seamstress shied away from the attention and titles, insisting that she was simply a mother who needed to get home to her son. Ada was reunited with Bennett and used her payment, which was less than she had been promised, from her time on Wrangel Island, to fucking bullshit. It's like, I don't know, we really gotta cut this out of your check. You use all these bullets. We're gonna dock you.
All these people died.
Yeah, gonna dock you on here. And yeah, they don't have to pay them. Why not fucking just bolt her a little bit?
Probably because she was a native woman.
Exactly why. Yeah. So her pay was less than promised for her time on Wrangel Island. She used that pay to seek treatment for her son's tuberculosis in a Seattle hospital. She later had a second son named Billy and returned to living in Alaska.
Oh, Billy.
Despite this seemingly happy ending, Blackjack remained her remaining years.
What movie is that, bro?
Can't remember.
Oh, Billy. Oh, it was the cable guy.
Oh, that's it.
It was fucking Jim Carrey and the cable guy.
That makes sense. All I have is memories of dickheads in like elementary school that would not stop fucking saying that. It made me insane.
Like Patrick.
I honestly I didn't watch that movie until like I was like in college, and it was like already an old movie at that point.
Yeah.
But I worked with a guy who was like, dude, and he would like talk about it periodically, and much like Riley, I'd be like, never seen it. And finally he was like, brought me the DVDs, like, just watch it. I was like, all right, fine. And I watched it. I was like, as far as Jim Carrey movies go, this one's pretty funny.
So anyway, Blackjack's remaining years were tinged with tragedy.
God damn it.
Jim Carrey's funny, huh? Well, anyway, so
so this lady we've been talking about
she was her remaining years were tinged with pervasive sadness and poverty. While Stephenson and others profited from the story of the tragic expedition, Blackjack saw none of that money.
Oh, fuck that!
Smear campaigns against her character later emerged, claiming that she had callously refused to care for Knight.
What?
Bennett's health issues were never fully resolved, but he died of a stroke in 1972 at the age of 58. Not fucking bad for tuberculosis.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long was it
between Arthur Morgan out in like a month?
Yeah, right.
How long was it between when they got stranded and Knight died?
It was a year.
A year, and they're saying she didn't care for him?
She spent a year and a half by herself.
Yeah, so for a year, he just managed to soldier on?
Just survived scurvy on his own.
Yeah, give me a fucking break.
Knight sounds like a little bitch anyway.
Right?
Fuck him.
She passed away in Palmer, Alaska at the age of 85 and was buried by Bennett's side. So that was the first. That was the North Pole.
And she hung out with the cat the whole time. She didn't eat the cat.
No, didn't eat the cat. Cat apparently survived. Huh. There's no telling what happened with the cat. I would imagine she went, finally I can get away from this fucking cat. Meow, fuck.
I don't know, the isolation, I think animal companion would probably help.
Yeah, I'd say I'd be happier to have the cat around.
If I made the movie, I would probably have it end with her taking the cat. And then moving in with it. But I would end the movie with the cat dying some years later, and then I'd do a title thing of what happened to her years over the rest of her life. Like
the cat outlives Ada?
No, it's not the Green Mile. Fucking no, I just I would have the movie end with her escaping the island, keeping the cat and caring for it, and the last title card area would be her burying the cat some years later, on her own land. Yeah, with her kids there and stuff, and then then it'd be a little title.
They come back every year to put flowers on the kitty's grave.
It's not as sad as I thought you were gonna say.
Yeah, it's fine.
I mean, she lived 60 years after.
Yeah, exactly.
85.
And then her son made it quite a while.
Almost 60 years old. Not bad.
Yeah.
Cat lived for a while.
So she was, I guess, rescued or whatever, got the fuck out of there at she was 20?
Yeah, she'd be in her mid to late 20s.
Yeah, mid 20s.
Okay.
No.
So another 50 something years.
So that was the North Pole.
It sure was.
Which is a big area with a lot of continents touching it, right? Everybody knows the North Pole's got a bunch of shit. The Arctic Ocean, everything.
Right.
Canada goes right up into the Arctic Circle.
More southward passages.
Yeah, a lot of tundra, a lot of stuff like that going up there. But now there's another story I want to talk about from the South Pole, which is completely isolated.
Yeah,
It's just its own thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is
That's where Satan lives.
yes, that is where the devil
Santa is north, Satan is south.
Satan. Yes.
Do you know that every
Satan.
year I think I've told you this before.
Satan.
Every year, one of our kids' Christmas presents. This happened, I can't remember, 3-4 years ago. I was 3 years ago. I was writing tags for kids' Christmas presents. Oh God, I hope one day they're going to be old enough to listen to this.
Oh no.
And I accidentally wrote one from Satan. And I was like, oh shit. And I tossed it aside. And Allison was like, throw it on there. They're not going to
Fuck
notice.
it.
And so every year now, all the kids get one present from Satan.
Nice.
They ever notice?
It's a tradition now. Not yet.
No
Not
shit.
yet. Not a single one yet.
Okay, so our South
That's pretty
Pole adventure in the Antarctic. There's the story of the Shackleton expedition to the South Pole. And to be fair, this guy, Sir Ernest Henry Shackleton, his name's Ernest, pronounced Ernst. Ernest Henry Shackleton.
Isn't his shack still supposed to be like intact down there? Isn't that like a thing?
Which one?
His little
Ship?
his little lean-to.
I don't know.
He had a little like shack.
That's interesting. I do know that the expedition, the ship that we're talking about here, the Endurance, was actually recently discovered under Antarctic ice, like way down in a hole, under the sea,
hole.
way down in the hole.
No, you see,
Gotta
couldn't you
keep
just-
the devil
why couldn't you have just stuck with Alice in Chains?
way down in the hole.
Okay, so
I'd like to fly,
are we gonna do Tom Waits versus Alice in Chains?
but my wings have been red high.
Your Lane Staley's pretty good. I'm not
It
gonna
is
lie.
pretty good.
If
Yeah.
I
Your
if
weights
I
is
belt
really good
it,
too.
if I
Damn,
belt it, I can
Staley
get it.
versus Waits. That's a whole
I'm gonna
competition.
write that into the
Wow.
epic rap battles,
You'll be
boy.
safe from Satan.
I have to belt. I have to belt a Staley, but there was like a
I
brief.
remember you throwing your voice out on
There was a brief period where I played in like a little cover band,
Mhm.
and
Did a lot of AIC, I take it.
when the other guys realized that I like could do Lane Staley,
Mhm.
they were like, "Oh my god!" So we'd like played I think like two or three Alice in Chains songs and like some old Stone Temple Pilots and shit like that. Like fun times, man. Fun times. Played a couple shows and then I stopped playing with them.
Okay.
Old Smashing Pumpkins, Siamese Dream. We played I can't remember which song I thought.
We were going to
Siamese-
do Cherub Rock at one point.
Siamese
We
Dream.
never
That's
did.
the one with mayonnaise, right?
What's
Fucking
the one
great
that's
song.
like,
That's Cherub Rock.
It's
It was the best song on that album.
I don't know. That's a hard.
I mean, there's a lot of good songs on that album. For as much as I don't like the Smashing Pumpkins now,
That album is
That
so
album is
good,
incredible.
though. Fuck. One of the best rock and roll albums.
I would agree. I just they're at the Simpsons stage of their career where they've done more bad than good.
Apparently, a buddy of mine told me they put out a new album, not Zwan or whatever, but since then, because they put out Zwan like probably 2 years ago. They put out
Zwan
a-
is like
Or
20
no, that
years
was
ago.
no. Zwan was their side project. They put out an album that sucked like 2 years ago, maybe 2+.
Mm.
And then like last year, they put out another album that was more like their roots, and
Yeah.
apparently it was pretty good. I never listened to it.
I don't know. I can't get over Corgan's voice anymore. How the fuck did we get on this? Can we talk about Antarctica?
His voice is so good. He owns a tea shop now. He's just so much tea.
I
Keeps his throat nice and lubricated. We should have tea out here. I'd love
was
to have
thinking of getting
I'd love to have a tea.
when I was editing the last episode and you were hacking up a lung the whole fucking time. I'm like,
Well,
I'm
that's
gonna
because-
get a hot plate out.
That's
here.
because I spent
I
2
know, I
days inhaling concrete dust from 1952.
I was thinking of getting a hot plate and a tea kettle.
Fucking goddamn near Depression era fucking concrete blocks. Riley is looking
looks like
very
he wants to talk.
impatiently at us. Tell us about Shackleford.
That's about Rusty Shackleford.
Sir Ernest Henry Shackleton was born the 15th of February, 1874. Was an Anglo-Irish Antarctic explorer who led 3 British expeditions to the Antarctic. He was one of the principal figures of the period known as the heroic age of Antarctic exploration.
1864 is when he was born?
Yeah, he was born in 1874.
1874, okay.
He was born in Kilkea, County Kildare in Ireland.
What?
Kilkea, County Kildare. Yeah, Ireland.
5 times fast.
Kilkea, County Kildare. Kilkea, County Kildare.
Kilkea County Kildare.
Kilkea County Kildare. Nope.
Kilkane County Kildare. Kildare. Fuck my ass.
Who killed who?
Cocaine Cowboy Kildare. He was born in Kildare, County Kildare in Ireland. Shackleton and his Anglo-Irish family moved to Sydenham in suburban South London when he was 10. Shackleton's first experience of the polar regions was as a third officer on Captain Robert Falcon Scott's Discovery Expedition in 1901, from which he was sent home early on health grounds. He and his companions, Scott and Edward Adrian Wilson, set a new southern record by marching to the latitude of 82 degrees south. During the Nimrod expedition of 1907 to 1909,
What?
which is what Green Day named that album after,
Bullshit.
obviously.
The Nimrod. What? I wonder why it was named that.
Nimrod was a biblical king. You not know that?
I didn't know that.
I don't think I did know that. How did it become a slur
He was a
for
dumbass.
Because he was a
Was he a
stupid
dumbass?
asshole. Yeah, he was a big dumb fuck.
Damn it, true.
I actually don't know. There is something there about Nimrod doing some dumb shit. He was a hunter. I know that. I don't know what he did to be stupid, but
He was a hunter, but he was stupid.
during the Nimrod expedition in 1907 to 1909, he and 3 companions established a new record farthest south latitude of 88 degrees to 23 degrees south. Only 97 geographical miles or 180 kilometers from the South Pole. The largest advance to the pole in exploration history. So he was the first to get that close.
Okay.
Also, members of his team climbed Mount Erebus, the most active Antarctic volcano. On returning home, Shackleton was knighted and for his achievements.
Hang on. Antarctica has active volcanoes?
Yeah, it's a continent.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah,
it's
but
a sheet of ice.
no, it's not. It's a continent with ice on it.
I understand the concept of a fucking continent.
Well, you said it's a
I
sheet of
also
ice.
went to elementary school, so I know.
Yes, but like, listen
the
here.
whole thing is covered in ice.
That is not categorically true. There is a lot of ice in Antarctica,
Yeah.
but it also has.
Is this where you tell me your belief in the ice wall?
No, it has seasonal weather. It has.
Of course it does. Yeah.
You know, it has an ebb and flow. Like the mountains do get uncovered with snow. There are active volcanic regions.
That's wild.
There is some topography to suggest like vegetation under the ice. You know, like there's plenty of stuff like that.
To backtrack.
To butt track.
The use of Nimrod as an insult is primarily attributed to Looney Tunes.
I pulled that up too.
Oh, because he calls fucking Elmer Fudd Nimrod.
Yeah.
Because he's a hunter.
There we go.
That's good. That's good.
Oh.
Hey, what's up there, Nimrod?
Wow. Holy shit, dude. I respect the fucking shit out of Looney Tunes.
History's crazy.
Hell yeah.
History's crazy.
Crazy, man.
The
But yeah,
history
my
of Looney
dad
Tunes?
calling me a fucking Nimrod my whole life.
Apparently
because
you're
of goddamn Bugs Bunny.
and Daffy Duck. They both called him Nimrod, but that's funny. The hunter thing was
Yeah.
the reason why, not because. Well, I mean, he was also dumb, but
That's pretty good.
So it's more association with Elmer Fudd than King Nimrod. That
I wonder
they're
if they
calling you
knew.
a Fudd. You fucking Fudd.
I wonder if they knew that like that would turn into a derogatory term for somebody who was stupid. Because Elmer Fudd was stupid, but also like calling him Nimrod was not an allusion to him being stupid. It was an allusion to him being a
that's
hunter.
That's what I'm saying.
But then it became this derogatory term for just a fucking idiot.
Culture's weird like that.
That's cool as fuck. I
Yeah.
love it.
I like that too. That's
That
good.
is actually really fucking
Pop
cool.
culture's wild.
It really is.
Okay, so after the race to the South Pole ended in December 1911 with Roald Amundsen's conquest of the South Pole, which is another story we could do sometime, as the actual first person to get to the South Pole.
That'd be cool.
Shackleton turned his attention to the crossing of Antarctica from sea to sea via the pole. To this end,
Holy shit.
Yeah, right? It's like, all right, fine, we'll fucking up it. We'll do twice as far. To this end, he made preparations for what became the Imperial Trans-Antarctic Expedition of 1914 to 1917. It's honestly like a massively ambitious, but also stupid as hell like endeavor. Because like, yes, of course there are waterways going through the South Pole and the Antarctic, but like there are also mountains and shit. Like there's
100%.
there's fucking land all up in that bitch, and there is no way of telling that there's any sort of path that will get you through the whole continent.
On top of being just cold and wet and slippy.
Right? Crazy. But I mean, this is what cocky British assholes do. They're like, oh yes, we will cross the continent on boat.
Especially we're talking about the ass end of colonization.
Yeah, exactly. Early 1900s.
We could in theory do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
let's do it.
I mean, for
Instead
the
of-
most part, the colonial era is over. But what's the last thing we can do?
Yeah, exactly. We got to take the last land.
God Almighty!
It's like, well, there's no place else except this frozen fucking hunk of rock. I'm like, yes, it will be ours. We will find the diamonds.
When we did micronations at the top of micronations,
Oh.
I talked about all of the conflicting claims to who owns what parts of Antarctica. Remember, I said if you looked at the South Pole, if you turn the globe upside down, you look at it from the top, and did like pizza, made a circle and did like pizza slices, and there are a lot of countries that just don't have any right to claim any of it.
Yeah.
like China,
Yeah, or
got
like
huge-
Finland
yeah.
or something like that. I'm like, what?
Fuck?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
You're on the other side.
What are you
Shut
gonna
up.
do? You gonna colonize it? You gonna
Yeah.
make a farm there?
You got the North. Leave the South alone, idiot.
Probably that's because that's how you get to Agartha. In December 1913, Shackleton published details of his new expedition, grandly titled the Imperial Transantarctic Expedition. There's a legend that Shackleton posted an advertisement emphasizing the hardship and danger of the planned voyage so that he could better narrow down the selection of candidates for his expedition. But no record of any such advertisement has survived, and its existence is considered doubtful. 2 ships were employed. The Endurance, which would carry the main party into the Weddell Sea, aiming for Vassal Bay, from where a team of 6, led by Shackleton, would begin the crossing of the continent. Meanwhile, a second ship, the Aurora, would take a supporting party under Captain Aeneas McIntosh to McMurdo Sound on the far side of the continent. This party would be tasked with laying supply depots across the Great Ice Barrier as far as the Beardmore Glacier, the depots holding the food and fuel required to enable Shackleton's party to complete their journey of 1,800 miles across the continent. Shackleton used his considerable fundraising skills to support the expedition, which was financed largely by private donations, although the British government gave £10,000, which is equivalent to like £1,200,000 in 2023. Scottish jute magnate Sir James Caird donated £24,000. Midlands Industrial, all these guys, a bunch of people fucking donated a bunch of money. I don't need to go into all that. But yeah, Shackleton received more than 5,000 applications to join his expedition. That's what Britain was like at the beginning of the century. It was like, you're going into the frozen wastes without me? I'd like to go. At times, his interviewing selection methods seemed eccentric. Believing that character and temperament were more important than technical ability, his questions were unconventional. Physicist Reginald James was asked if he could sing. Others were accepted on site. Because Shackleton liked the look of them.
Can you sing though?
Yeah, keep the spirits up on the journey.
No, I do physics. Yeah, but what's your voice? What's your voice like?
You think that's why they denied St. John Philby? Or
Yeah, St. John
Do it
Philby
quick.
would have been great on this expedition.
Do a quick I will always love you. Let's see where you got.
And I... He loosened some of the traditional hierarchies to promote camaraderie, such as distributing the ship's chores equally among officers, scientists, and able seamen. He made a point of socializing with his crew members after every evening, after dinner, leading sing-alongs, jokes, and games. He finally selected a crew of 56, shared equally 28 men on each ship. Despite the outbreak of the First World War on the 3rd of August, 1914, the Endurance was directed by the First Lord of the Admiralty, Winston Churchill, to proceed, and left British waters on 8th of August. Shackleton delayed his own departure until 27th of September, meeting the ship in Buenos Aires.
And what year is this again?
This is 1914.
14, okay.
Yeah, right at the opening of World War I.
Right.
On setting sail for South Georgia, which is an island off Patagonia,
So like Kingsland area.
It's off Patagonia,
Brunswick.
slightly east. Yeah, South Georgia. Yeah,
Brunswick.
South New Wales. Yeah, and so near Savannah.
Welcome, y'all.
Near Savannah, Georgia. Yeah, the island of South Georgia,
Y'all want some peaches?
southeast of Patagonia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's like their staging area.
There's another Georgia there, so we've got a state, a country, and then just
South Georgia,
an island down there.
Yeah. He sent a cablegram to the Daily Chronicle conveying the patriotic message, "We hope in our small way to add victories in science and discovery to that certain victory which our nation will achieve in the cause of honor and liberty."
and then everyone died.
And then everyone died. Actually, no. Well, you'll see. Shackleton led the expedition. Captain Frank Worsley commanded the Endurance and Captain Aeneas McIntosh the Aurora. On the Endurance, the second in command was the experienced explorer Frank Wild, and the first officer was Lionel Greenstreet. The meteorologist was Leonard Husey, who was also an able banjo player. There is a cast
key.
of characters attached. Official photographer Frank Hurley, head dog handler Tom Crean, carpenter Harry McNish, biologist Robert Clark.
Photography must have been crazy because I mean,
Right?
think about what photography was in general back then, and just like the pain in the ass of like.
Oh
you
yeah,
had to
fucking
use,
setting
like-
up the shit. And
You
like,
had to
yeah.
use like powder for your flash.
There
and,
are
like,
there are fantastic.
Don't undersell the banjo player. You know how hard it is to keep a banjo in
and,
tune?
and scientists.
He was the meteorologist. Actually,
He was a
also
meteorologist
banjo player.
/ banjo player. We've got a physicist / singer.
You
We've
got a
got some guys
surgeon,
that Shackelford just or
geologist.
Shackleton
You gotta
just
keep
liked.
that thing in tune on the ship and the cold ass
Yeah,
air.
we've got some guys there that Shackleton was just like, hey, you look pretty cool. Let's go.
And then I think my favorite character, Perce Blackborough, was a 19-year-old Welsh sailor who had stowed away on the ship after being refused a job. Although angered by this, Shackleton realized it was too late to turn back by the time the situation was discovered. So Blackborough was allowed to join the crew and assigned to the ship's galley.
What was his job?
He was working in the galley. He was like a cook or a waiter or just cleaning shit.
I'm so mad at you. You're my waiter now.
He was the stool boy.
Stool boy?
Yes. I mean, just depending on the length of this expedition and knowing the proclivities of the Brits, he was probably, the buggery boy. That's what I would assume.
You weren't supposed to be on this ship. Now pull your ass out.
Service the banjo player. There was a male cat on board named Mrs. Chippy that belonged
male cat
a
named
male cat
Mrs.
named
okay.
Mrs. When I was a kid, I had a male cat named Mrs. Rogers. Yeah. It was a badass cat. Fucking at one point had one eye. It would like jump off the roof and grab pigeons out of the air. It was hardcore. But Miss Chippy belonged to the carpenter Harry McNish. Mrs. Chippy was shot when the Endurance sank due to the belief that he would not have survived the ordeal that followed.
Jesus.
Oh, that's a little foreshadowing. or just telling you what's going to happen.
You're not going to make it.
The Endurance departed from South Georgia for the Weddell Sea on the 5th of December in 1914, heading for Vassal Bay. As the ship moved southward, navigating in ice, she encountered first-year ice, which slowed progress. First-year ice, if you're unaware, is a type of ice that forms in the ocean that is particularly hard because it just got there. Like, fucking, there's no wear and tear
So,
or years of floating on the water.
Unlike
It's
a
just rock-hard
tree,
ice.
it's harder when it's younger.
Yeah, unlike a tree, yeah, because
But
like,
much like a human, it's
If it-
much like a human man, it's harder when it's younger.
if an ice floe is sitting there for several years, it will the motion of the ocean will crack it and bend it. The sunlight will melt it a little bit. It can get easier to break through. But first year ice is just freshly formed in the winter, so
okay.
it's hardcore. As the ship moved forward, it encountered first-year ice, which slowed progress. Deep in the Weddell Sea, conditions gradually grew worse until, on the 19th of January, 1915, Endurance became frozen fast in an ice floe.
That's crazy.
On the 25th of February, realizing that they would be trapped until the following spring, Shackleton ordered the abandonment of the ship's routine and her conversion to a winter station. Endurance drifted slowly northward with the ice through the following months. When spring arrived in September, the breaking of the ice and its later movements put extreme pressure on the ship's hull.
That makes sense because ice expands
and contracts,
and so it's probably pushing on the ship, and then as
and it's stuck in there, and the ship's still floating with the water underneath,
and the
so
ice
it's
is probably getting thicker as the winter goes on.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And wood after it's been frozen for a long time, just like
Not
under
so good.
pressure, not so good. Shackleton had been hoping that the ship, when released from the ice, could work her way back towards Vassal Bay, but his hopes were dashed on the 24th of October when water began pouring in. After a few days with the position at 69 degrees south, he gave the order to abandon ship, saying, "She's going down!" And men, provisions, and equipment were transferred to a camp on the ice. On the 21st of November 1915, the wreck of Endurance finally slipped beneath the surface.
They're just all sitting there at camp watching their ship go under.
Well, you also listen to the dates here.
October, that's southern
24th
hemisphere.
of October was when he first said she's going down.
Yeah, that's the spring in the southern hemisphere.
21st of November was when it finally slipped beneath the ocean.
A month later.
A month of sinking ship.
Yeah.
Just slow. This is the thing that really gets me about this whole journey. It's just slow creeping down.
Well, and so by the end of November, you're well into spring, getting close to summer.
Yeah, and you're on ice.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You get
just
the fuck out of there pretty
walking on
quick.
ice,
Yeah.
For almost 2 months, Shackleton and his party camped on a large, flat ice floe, hoping that it would drift towards Paulet Island, approximately 250 miles away. where it was known that stores were cached.
That's fucking optimistic.
Right? After failed attempts to march across the ice to this island, Shackleton decided to set up another more permanent camp called Patience Camp on another floe and trust to the drift of the ice to take them towards a safe landing.
Everybody make it off the ship
Yeah, everybody got off the ship.
except the cat.
No, they shot the cat.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yeah. AKA he didn't make it off the ship.
Yeah. By the 17th of March, their ice camp was within 60 miles of Paulette Island. However, separated...
Wow.
Yeah, right. Well, because the
190 miles?
Arctic ice on the water is just...
It moves, but
constantly
I mean,
moving.
when you said 250 miles, I was
Right?
like, that's ambitious.
However, they were separated by impassable ice, and they were unable to reach it. On the 9th of April, their ice floe broke into two, and Shackleton ordered the crew into the lifeboats and to head for the nearest land. After 5 harrowing days at sea, the exhausted men landed their 3 lifeboats at Elephant Island,
Okay.
just 346 miles from where the Endurance had sunk.
Wow.
This was the first time they'd set foot on solid ground for 497 days. Shackleton's concern for his men was such that he gave his mittens to photographer Frank Hurley, who had lost his own mittens during the boat journey. Shackleton
I've
suffered
lost my mittens.
Shackleton suffered frostbitten fingers as a result.
That's cool. I mean, that's nice of him.
Right.
It's
So-
not cool, but
They land on Elephant Island.
Mhm.
Elephant Island is not a great place to be. There's no resources there other than you get seals, maybe a penguin.
seals are kind of assholes too.
Yeah, exactly.
Seals will chase your ass.
Elephant Island was an inhospitable place, far from any shipping routes. Rescue by means of a chance discovery was very unlikely. So Shackleton decided to risk an open boat journey to the South Georgia whaling stations where he knew help would be available.
How far is that?
Fucking far, dude.
On life rafts.
It's
rafts.
the South Georgia station is halfway to Patagonia. Yeah.
Shit.
The strongest of the tiny 20-foot lifeboats, christened James Caird after the expedition's chief sponsor,
Fucking name the life.
was chosen for the trip. Ship's carpenter Harry McNish made various improvements, which included raising the sides, strengthening the keel, building a makeshift deck of wood and canvas, and sealing the work with oil paint and seal blood. Shackleton chose 5 companions for the journey.
How many people are there total right now?
What do we say? There was 24 on the ship.
Okay. So 19 left behind.
Right. Shackleton chose 5 companions for the journey. The ship's captain, Frank Worsley,
Or I guess
who-
18.
who
Shackleford
would
plus
be
5.
responsible for navigation, Tom Crane, who had begged to go, 2 strong sailors, and McNish. The carpenter had early...
You're contributing nothing, but you won't shut the fuck up, so get on the boat. Jesus.
The carpenter had earlier clashed with Shackleton when the party was stranded on the ice, but, while not forgetting his earlier insubordination, Shackleton recognized McNish's value for this particular job.
That's the carpenter.
Yes.
Yeah, you bring the carpenter on the wood boat.
Yeah, on the wood boat. That's good. You've got to
You
bring
do
him.
that.
Did they bring the banjo player though?
So I had to look back through the ship's log for that.
You and your banjo stay, but you don't need a meteorologist on the boat. Maybe you do. I don't know.
Shackleton, it may be for navigation,
Yeah.
but Shackleton insisted on packing only enough supplies to last for 4 weeks, knowing that if they failed to reach South Georgia within that time, the boat and its crew would be lost. The James Caird was launched on the 24th of April, 1916. During the next 15 days, it sailed through the waters of the Southern Ocean at the mercy of the stormy seas and in peril of capsizing. Thanks to Worsley's navigating skills, the cliffs of South Georgia came into sight on 8th of May, but hurricane-force winds prevented any possibility of landing. The party was forced to ride out the storm offshore in continual danger of being dashed against the rocks. They later learned that the same storm had sunk a 500-ton steamer bound for South Georgia from Buenos Aires. The next
Woof.
day, they were able to land on the unoccupied southern shore, and a period of rest and recuperation followed. Rather than risking another sea journey to reach the whaling stations on the northern coast, Shackleton decided to attempt a land crossing of the island. Although it is likely that the Norwegian whalers had already crossed the island at other points on ski, no one had previously attempted this particular route. For their journey, the men were only equipped with boots they had adapted for climbing by pushing screws into the soles, a carpenter's adze, and 50 feet of rope.
Put a whole carpenter's ass in there.
Put a whole carpenter's ass in there, and 50 feet of rope. Leaving McNish, Vincent, and McCarthy at the landing point on South Georgia, Shackleton traveled with Worsley and Crean over 32 miles of dangerous mountainous terrain for 36 hours, reaching the whaling station at Stromness on the 20th of May.
That's pretty fucking good. You're doing
That's
like,
a hell of a...
on dangerous terrain.
Yeah, not bad, right?
Yeah.
36 hours to go all that in, like,
Yeah.
it's just still frozen as fuck, and it's
Yeah.
still mountains, you know?
Yeah, even in the summer, it's pretty rough.
Shackleton immediately sent a boat to pick up the 3 men from the other side of South Georgia Island, while he set to work organizing the rescue of those left behind on Elephant Island. His first 3 attempts were foiled by sea ice, which blocked the approaches to the island. He appealed to the Chilean government and was offered the use of the Yelcho, a small seagoing tug from the Chilean Navy. Yelcho, commanded by Captain Louis Pardo, and the British whaler Southern Sky reached Elephant Island on the 30th of August, 1916, at which point the men had been isolated there for 4.5 months. Fuck. Can you imagine that, dude? You're like, well, hopefully they'll show up eventually. 4.5
Yeah, every
months?
day's got to just be like, fuck.
Shackleton quickly evacuated all 22 men. The party was taken on Yelcho first to Punta Arenas and after some days to Valparaiso in Chile, where crowds warmly welcomed them back to civilization. Shackleton would mount a return expedition shortly after, but he would die of a heart attack before reaching Elephant Island at the age of 47.
Damn.
He was buried in Grytviken Cemetery on South Georgia.
So no casualties is what you're saying.
No casualties.
That's pretty
Every
fucking amazing.
single person died, except, of course, for the cat.
Every single person survived.
Yes.
You said died.
Everyone died.
The cat came home triumphant as fuck. And everybody looked at him like, you were eating people, weren't you, kitty?
Shackleton's death marked the end of the heroic age of Antarctic exploration, a period of discovery characterized by journeys of geographical and scientific exploration in a largely unknown continent without any of the benefits of modern travel methods or radio communication.
Wow.
Yeah. I like that story.
That's, yeah. I mean, I knew about him. I didn't know much about him.
Yeah, he's mentioned often, especially if you if you're talking about history.
Yeah.
That's like Charles Lindbergh.
Yeah, if you talk about Antarctica at all, I mean, it's
like
pretty,
the Shackleton
pretty
expedition
unanimous,
is huge.
yeah.
There's a scotch that I really like. I can't remember what it's called, but it's
Glenlivet.
No, it's
Glenfiddich.
It was
Are you a Cuddy Sark man? You a blended?
It was the official.
One of the Johnny Walkers.
I actually fucking hate Johnny Walker.
I don't even remember what Johnny Walker tastes like.
I don't mind a couple of them. Black and red are trash, but
My dad drank Johnny Walker Black.
yeah, it's
Like
not
Eamon
good.
drinks.
What pissed
Johnny
me off
Walker
about
Black.
Johnny Walker Black is that it's not trash per se, but the people that drink it treat it like it's fucking gold.
It's not.
And it
Like
makes
Eamon?
me crazy.
It's not
He's
great.
Like, Johnny Black. Like, fuck you.
It's not great.
You know how many scotches there are? There are
You know what?
incredible scotches out there.
I get it because there are a lot of incredible
Love you,
bourbons
Eamon, if
out
you ever hear
there.
this.
Huh?
I was saying I love you, Eamon, if you ever hear this.
Oh, there are a lot of incredible bourbons out there too. But I'll be honest with you, I fucks with some Jim Beam.
Hey, man, Jim Beam's where it's at.
So
It's a gold
I
standard.
get
It's-
it
yeah.
if you are it's cheap. It's not really impressive in terms of bourbon. So if you're a Scotch guy, I get finding one that's like good quality for the price.
It's actually like I'm trying to remember what the fucking name of this scotch is.
Because once you get into like the Johnny Walker Green and Gold and blue, obviously Blue and all those other fucking fancy pants ones, like
Oh, you know what it's called?
What?
Shackleton.
what is?
Shackleton
Scotch.
blended malt scotch.
Oh, really?
It was supposedly the official blend of the Shackleton expeditions.
Interesting.
And it was really good though. It was like peaty but kind of light, and I would drink way too much of it way too often.
You were right. Yeah.
In my scotch phases.
Whenever you said there was a Scotch that you liked, I started naming Scotches to be a smartass.
Yeah.
I thought you were like talking about like a Scotsman. I thought you were still talking about like explorers and
No, I was
stuff.
talking
I
about
thought you were gonna
Scotch.
like name
Listen,
someone from Scotland.
I'm not just an alcoholic. I'm an educated booze hound. Okay? I've had all the booze.
Is that how you introduce yourself?
No, I introduced myself as Carl.
Shackleton.
Hi, my name's Carl.
Great grand.
What are you
Son.
doing here?
Which of these, if you had to survive one of them, do you think you'd be able to?
Me? All of them.
No.
Easy. I'm a
Right.
survivor boy. No, I honestly, the ocean crossing, I probably would have given myself to the sea many times.
Yeah, that's the one I would prefer out of the three.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not good at functioning in the cold. I mean, and I'll be the first to admit it. I can't think very well. I always joke that like if I'm cold, my brain gets real stupid. And I don't know, man. If unless I was geared up really well, I just don't think like I understand how to operate in the tropics. You know what I mean? Even in a raft on the ocean, if I've got the desalinator and I've got the spear gun,
The JD desalinator. The catcher in the rye, JD
so
Salinator.
bad. The catcher of the Rhine.
See, I think that is the least likely scenario to survive out of all three of these is is the single guy on the raft. Like, granted, you're in Antarctica,
Yeah, that's rough.
whatever, but you got like a whole crew of people that does help.
I think the one I'd probably.
I mean, even Ada Blackjack had some people
if
for
she
a while.
had just smothered that fucker. Like,
yeah, I think I would be most likely to survive the Ada Blackjack scenario.
I would say,
because there's obviously like animals to hunt and food, and she's got a gun, and like I'd have eaten that guy. You know,
She was
She was
like-
pretty well geared. She may have.
no, she didn't. She left him in there. They would have known if she ate him. That would have been a thing.
She
Like,
didn't bury him or anything.
Eskimo cannibal.
no, she like walled him up.
She left him in the house and moved into the shed.
Gross.
Yeah, I would have just eaten him. Pretty easy. But I would have smothered him first.
Yeah, I would have tossed him in a snowbank, keep him fresh for a while.
Well, bam,
you know?
alive. You know, ever see Alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that book too.
Good book.
It's a really good book. Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned.
That's another great survival
I think
story.
I've mentioned
Yeah.
on the podcast.
That one's pretty well known.
They
It is.
remade the movie Alive. It's called Society of the Snow. It's on Netflix. Pretty fucking good.
Really?
Yeah, really
I
good.
gotta watch that.
It's a really good remake.
Society of the Snow.
Yeah, they use actual South American actors,
That sounds like a.
Not what's his head?
not Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, is it Ethan Hawke?
Yeah,
yes,
Ethan Hawke
yeah.
and a bunch of other fucking just white people.
Society of the Snow sounds like a Game of Thrones spinoff.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But it's not. It's about with Chilean soccer players.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a strange title for that.
Yeah. You know what you don't see enough of in movies like that is jerking off. Because you know those guys were jerking it. You gotta stay warm, man. It's cold out there. You wanna know the easiest physical thing you can do to stay warm if it's freezing?
York it.
York it, bro.
What?
Don't come though. Don't come.
If you,
Because you're gonna want to York it again pretty soon.
where on your priority list does jerking it fall?
Top.
And correlating that with stress level, right? If you're more stressed, do you jerk it more? If you're less stressed, do you jerk it more? How where does that fall?
Well, you see, you really got to.
Because this is you're talking about top tier stress.
You gotta have the discipline to be able to York it in high stress situations. That's
Yeah.
because it's just sometimes it's gonna be cold, man. It's gonna
You
be
might
cold.
have to
You
figure out
gotta
how to pee with a boner too. If
You
you're not actually
boner,
nutting.
you got to learn how to pee with. You got to learn how to go to sleep with a full boner.
You're one of those guys when the plane starts
can't
falling
sleep
out of
with
the
a boner.
sky.
Well, you're gonna have to
What?
because listen,
can't sleep
if
with
you
a
work
boner.
up a nice sweat Yorking it, and then you fall asleep all sweaty, you're gonna freeze.
You've never woken up in the middle of the night with like fucking full mast and like realized like you. God damn, I'm revealing a lot about myself. And then you realize like you've been having a dream for a while and that like that dream had some, sexual shit in it. And you realize like, I've had this boner for a while. Like I clearly must have been just boned out, passed out for a while, and then eventually woke up. But this thing's been here.
I've had a stiffy wake me up. Sure.
Yeah, I bet you have.
Fuck. I'm gonna delete that. Fuck you.
But I wonder, well, you better not.
You fud.
You
Fucking
fud.
Nimrod.
But I wonder, like, because like I said, this that's top tier stress. You're like at your limit. So where on your priority list is I gotta like tuck away for a second and
Well, it really depends on what the situation is. Because
And the Andy Survivors thing, they were tucking away. It was cold as fuck up there. They were yorking it right next to each other.
they had
Let's
to
be
get
real.
together.
They
And
might have been yorking each other.
they were almost definitely Yorking each other, dude.
just
Yeah.
create a little friction.
I mean, it's like
not gay, bro. We
judgment.
crashed
They're
on a
trying to
mountain. It's not
live.
gay.
Okay.
I have got to masturbate if I'm gonna make it.
I'm freezing, man. It's like, don't worry about it. I got you.
Here.
No, it's really, that's not what it is, though. It's the action of you Yorking it that warms you up. So if you're already spent, you could York your buddy, and that would get you warm.
But why wouldn't he want to York it? Maybe he wants to get
He's tired.
some
Maybe he's
muscle
he's
activity.
like, oh, I can't.
Maybe he's like on his way out.
He's
like
on his way out,
about
yeah.
to die. And you're
Gotta
like,
give him
anything
one
I can do to
last.
survive.
Last old fashioned.
Let me jack you off.
You're going to be all right, man. We're going to make it.
Jesus, gross.
Well,
Thank
that's been
you for
fun.
listening.
Hey, delete everything.
We haven't unironically said that in a while.
Yeah.
I
Just
think-
delete this whole fucking
I
piece
think
shit.
of the three scenarios, I would still
York it.
probably go Steven Callahan.
Yeah. I think I do
I
the Ada
think-
Blackjack, but
It's a toss up
the
between those two.
Shackleton one did have booze.
And everybody survived the Shackleton one.
And everyone survived, yeah. And
That's
there's some
true.
camaraderie there,
Yeah.
And they obviously had like resources too. There's SEALs and
Yeah, when there's
Yeah.
when there's
To kill a
21
cat.
yeah, when there's
Yeah.
21 people, like you can have a bad day.
Yeah.
And somebody else is gonna help out.
yeah,
you
you
know?
just group together.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that is the one. Maybe
It's been a rough day. Why don't you get that stowaway over here?
Yeah, where's the stool boy?
Bring me that 19-year-old stowaway.
Oh my God, he's Welsh. It doesn't matter.
It's not a real person.
Maybe that is the one then. Maybe that's the.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I think maybe I might change my answer.
Yeah.
I'm just again the cold thing, like the penetrate everything cold.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's
That's like
colder than
not.
fucking
Yeah, that's
Antarctica.
cold,
Yeah.
cold.
Well, I have the feeling that, once they were on Elephant Island, because there's like, there's some mountainous stuff around there. They, you could construct
No elephants though. Strangely,
No elephants,
It's
interesting
way
enough.
weird.
But you could construct shelters and stuff, and if you're killing seals, you can make fucking candles and shit like that. And,
Yeah.
You can use your pelts to.
stay warm.
Yeah.
And,
Maybe that's the one.
instead of Yorking it, you can just bang them.
Bang a stool boy?
Bang a seal.
Bang a seal, sure.
I need to kill it first.
Like a kiss from a rose.
Ew. I didn't like that.
I
didn't like that
at all. That's what that song's about,
Fucking seals.
It's fucking seal. That's the
Fucking
whole, that is the
fucking
point.
seal. The human,
Yeah.
not the
But
marine
did
mammal.
you know when it snows?
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. See?
It's about yorking out with your buddies on Elephant Island.
That's it. It's not gay.
Yeah, your eyes become
Survival.
Your eyes become large because you're about to come.
That's it. Yeah. Your eyes become alive,
become
and the light that
large,
you
yeah.
shine can be seen.
That's the
That's the light that you shine. That's the
it's
spooge,
coming
yeah.
out of you.
This has been great, everyone.
I think we should wrap it. It's gonna
Yeah.
be short, but I think this we can't go anywhere from here.
Yeah, it's getting dark. My battery's running low.
If you like this episode, particularly this last 5 minutes,
There's plenty more where that came
That's
from.
a pretty good representation of our Patreon.
That's pretty much
it
it.
is
yeah.
actually a perfect representation of our Patreon. Get online, get on whatever you're listening to, give us 5 stars, leave us a review if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a comment on this episode if you're listening on Spotify. Check us out on YouTube. We have fun stuff there, video stuff. You're gonna like it. You're gonna
love the way you
go
look.
ahead. Yeah, I knew you were gonna do it. If there is a topic, a suggestion that you have, feel free to send us an email at deleteeverythingpodcast@gmail.com. And then, of course, our Patreon. We're always going to try and get you guys to go to Patreon. 1, because it's the only fucking way we make money. 2, because we actually have a fucking blast on there, and we think that you would too. So come visit us, man. It doesn't cost you that much. It doesn't cost you that much, I promise. Anywho, till next week. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Baby.